Every serial killer leaves a calling card. For the killer in Case 18, the trademark is a snapped neck and a deliberate chalk circle drawn next to the victim, always the wife of a police officer. Inspector Sitharam arrives in the village of Malanadu expecting a quiet transfer. Instead, he finds himself targeted immediately, with a break-in at his new home on the very first day of his assignment. The situation escalates from a burglary to a nightmare. Shortly after moving in, Sitharam returns home to discover his own wife has been murdered in their living room. Forensic evidence links the scene to a ghost from the past. The circle drawn next to his wife is an exact match for the symbols found in Case 18, a series of killings documented decades apart. Case 18 was officially closed years ago, with the perpetrator supposedly dealt with. The presence of the symbol in Sitharam's home means a resurrected killer is now hunting the man responsible for the original investigation. Sitharam attempts to find a lead by looking at a string of local robberies. 3 daily wage workers, Naga, Sina, and Deva, have been systematically hitting houses with absolute professional precision. These thieves follow logic tied to the PIN code, 577432. Each robbery distance matches the sequence, 5, 7, 7, and 4 kilometers. Sitharam uses this pattern to reverse engineer their next move, drawing a 2-kilometer radius to narrow the search down to a single neighborhood. An invisible third party begins manipulating the search. Anonymous tips are called into the station to lead the police toward the thieves, while separate warnings are sent to the criminals to keep them on the run. Sitharam reviews the dispatch logs and finds a troubling synchronization. The anonymous caller is providing information to both sides simultaneously, treating the police and the thieves as opposing pieces in a choreographed collision. The game turns lethal when one of the thieves, Deva, is found murdered in the forest. His body bears the snapped neck and the chalk circle, officially linking the local robberies to the Case 18 killer. Sitharam traces the victims back to a specific night on election duty in 2014. The data leads him to a single name that connects the police department to the thieves, Binoy George. In 2014, Naga, Sina, and Deva attempted a routine robbery that went wrong. They broke into Binoy's home while his pregnant wife was there alone, sparking a panic that would set the entire cycle in motion. Binoy's wife called him for help, but his path home was blocked. A group of drunk officers on election duty, including a younger Sitharam, detained Binoy for an hour, ignoring his desperate explanations while they amused themselves. By the time the officers let him go, it was too late. During the struggle with the thieves, Binoy's wife fell, sustained a fatal injury to her neck, and died before her husband could intervene. The tragedy was a product of 2 failures. The thieves provided the spark of violence, but the police provided the delay that made that violence permanent. Binoy is now methodically correcting the scales for both groups. Binoy's revenge is built on the concept of the mistake chain. He believes his wife's death wasn't a random accident, but the inevitable conclusion of a sequence where participants failed their basic human or professional duty. The circle represents this closed loop of causality. The blue half stands for the police negligence that delayed Binoy. By targeting those officers, he forced them to live through his pain. The red half accounts for the thieves' greed, whose break-in sparked the tragedy. This is a brutal equation of equilibrium. Binoy believes the circle only closes when every person who contributed to that night in 2014 is removed from the board. In the forest, the chain of events reaches its conclusion. Binoy corners the remaining thieves, Sina and Naga, and kills them, finally finishing the task he started years ago. Sitharam arrives and finds the man who took his wife. Driven by the same vengeful grief that fueled Binoy, the inspector abandons his badge and kills the mastermind in a fit of rage. Sitharam's final act provides the ultimate irony. By choosing murder over the law, he inadvertently fulfills the final requirement of the circle, becoming a violent extension of Binoy's own philosophy. Sitharam Binoy case number 18 demonstrates that in a system built on duty, a single moment of negligence can spark a cycle of vengeance that eventually claims the lives of everyone involved.